Thanks, Jeremy. I'm going to start out with two brand new poems. I love when I can share new work. One of these poems was inspired by a conversation I had with a classmate. We were talking about the sad reality that a lot of our classmates keep showing up in the obituaries. Inevitability. Pack away the anger. All that is left is the broken glass of grief, the sting and sweetness of memories, until you realize this is the inevitable trajectory, the price of being human. Even when you veer off the path, have faith in the surprises that await. Suck the juice of life, one moment, one breath at a time. Take pleasure in the hidden delights. Lean into the love. This poem was inspired by, I did a poetry event recently in Crystal Lake, and it's a unique space because it's a coffee house that doesn't serve alcohol, and it is also a recovery space for 12-step meetings. And though not everybody was in the 12-step program, there was a real sacred feeling around it, and I wrote a poem about that. A sacred space. Strangers, yet you enfolded me in hugs and love. A bit of a COVID germaphobe, I have been reluctant to accept random hugs, but I felt safe in the healing energy of this sacred poetry space where all were recovering, some from drugs or alcohol, others like me from the ravages of life, the losses and heartaches, the pain and vulnerability. Reassured in this intimate space, it is possible to find connection without being chemically altered, in the potency of our words, in the strength and salvation of our emotions. It is comforting at 69 to know my poems enfold and heal others, and we can still build communities in the humanity of our messages. I'm going to share poems from a book. I self-published this book just with the intent of being a good American. When I saw everything that was going on and how our democracy has been threatened, and this being such a consequential election. R.I.P. democracy. Somewhere along the line, we, the privileged citizens of arguably the greatest democracy in the world, fell into a deep, disturbing coma. We slipped into the quicksand of ignorance, of false grievances. We entrusted our lives to the corrupt and greedy. We traded reason for ugly bigotry, primal anger. We turned away from love, justice, truth, respect, civility. We forgot the garden could not possibly grow if we stopped watering it with knowledge, care, and the passion of our principles. We failed to acknowledge its fragility, to examine its nuanced intricacies before it spun out of control. Two more, and I wrote this book, and I really didn't write it to make money, but just to spread an important message. So if I have a few copies available if someone wants one. A land of contrasts. Democracy is my Croatian grandfather making wine in his basement. Democracy is my immigrant grandfather wearing brass knuckles for fear of being robbed. Democracy is equality, progress, the opportunity to achieve dreams. Democracy is also slavery, white supremacist, political discord that divides families. Democracy is an abundance of wealth, also too many jails and guns. Democracy, a grand idea, the greatest hope for representation. Democracy has yet to reach its full potential. I want to end with this poem because it seems like a perfect place to end on this subject. Fearless champions, knowledge and discernment are the cornerstones of democracy. In our time of information overload, it is easy to drown in pretty lies, sexy slogans, far more challenging to dig through the muck, tune out the distracting voices, discern the substance. We critical thinkers are fearless travelers. We are the keepers of the truth, the champions of democracy. And the book is titled Democracy Ever Fragile.